guys, Tambo here with your weekly core report. Water is wet and RPS members are shipping as usual. Our NBA content has been on fire since the beginning of the season. I kicked off the week by shipping a WFBBC seat on FanDuel using a low-owned Isaiah Livers recommended on the Premium Final Countdown show.
I hope he comes off the bench because I know for a fact they love this kid. They're going to give him run no matter what. They're probably going to push him, and he's $3,100.
Our premium content comes through big time, whether it's our up-to-lock shows, heat maps, core plays, or playbook. Join us today so you can start shipping too. I wasn't the only one shipping a seat last week. Our guy Locks secured a Draftkings NBA Live Final seat as well. AP's core plays from Sunday helped a bunch of members win too. Junior hit for $3,000, while Nick's Story shipped for over $15K. Steve Boynton used our core plays and playbook to make a late swap that won him $3,000 in NBA. And Punisher used the NBA heat map to ship $100,000 on DraftKings. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the like button on this video as well. Keep the good mojo going. Our NFL dominance continued into week 8 as well with some big wins. D-Hops shipped for $4K on FanDuel. EJOCam won $5K. And Dirty Deeds 30 hit for $7,500. Some of our best screenshots aren't necessarily the huge scores. Bankroll building is a big part of becoming successful, and we love to see the good ROI hits too. Cusp Love illustrated this perfectly, turning $2 into $800, while Wes turned $18 into $2,500 on DraftKings, and Jalapeno turned $198 into a monster $77K. His Great Pizza brought the great mojo in Cincinnati. Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in the core report, drop your winning lineup in the Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Until next time, let's keep running pure.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports NFL Showdown show. We are breaking it down for you guys. We're talking Chiefs and we're talking Titans. And this is not the most glamorous game to discuss, but hey, we're here breaking it down. We're going to discuss the game for you guys. Let's go over to you, Kurt. You're all fired up, man. Like the Bucks won. I know you said you played a little bit of mixing today. How did the day go overall? And tell us a little bit about that Bucks victory.
Yeah, early only, had a lot of mixing, so had a good sweat for early only. That went good. Had a lot of Walker and my classic stuff, so pretty decent day overall. Can't complain. The Bucks got a win, so that was nice. Like I think it was like the second game I got to watch with my dad this year, so it's good that we stole that completely. We're a terrible team, but we're first in the division, so I'm happy about it.
Nice, yeah. Can't complain about that. We'll see if you can hold on to that first place in the division. That division is no one wants to win it. I'll say that it's going to be fun to see who actually decides to win it. Let's go over to you, Meg. A division that people are trying to win. Your Commanders did not try to win it today.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for you this year. But hey, it's not the year to win it anyways. You don't want the Commanders doing anything. But how's it going over there? How
just excited about a new owner over here, Mangone. I'm just excited about a potential new owner.
As someone who's a Met fan and was waiting for an ownership change, the most successful thing, you would say it's a successful season if the ownership changed, right? That would be just a humongous win, right?
But I know these people don't want to hear about my excitement about Dan Snyder hopefully being gone soon. But yeah, that's what I'm living on this week as far as a Washington fan. As far as DFS, it was really tough sledding today because I had one mix-in lineup and so barely any mix-in. So I was going under the mindset that Mixon is inefficient and dusty, and then they could have the Bengals could have a bounce back win, but on the passing side, so just not a good day for me. So I'm looking to come in here, talk showdown, get some good juju back, and hopefully pump myself up for a good showdown slate.
I mean, I don't know. That's foreshadowing. You said get some good juju.
I
back.
did say juju.
I don't. Juju Smith-Schuster. We'll have to see. We'll break it down for you guys, though. Let's go over to Rubio, the guy who does the playbook for us over here at Run Pure Sports. Rubio, how is it going over there? How was your day? Nice little Bengals victory.
Yeah, it was great. I got to play a little bit of soccer too, and I had a great day. I thought I was going to ship the Rainmakers legendary contest. I came close. I got fourth because of Joe Mixon. That last Brady touchdown actually hurt me a little bit, but hey, can't complain about a profitable day. Even though on the classic side of things, the old DFS, as some would call it, I busted out Justin Herbert, Josh Palmer, just not enough there because Justin Herbert and that O-line is just tough to compete with that injury prone team. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It's nice not to spend any money on the Rainmaker side and still end up profitable. I'm going to keep pushing that narrative, man, going.
I mean, again, we're here to tell you we don't care, Rubio. We don't care, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say.
We don't care.
Yes, we don't care. But let's move this thing along. Let's talk about what the people are actually here for. They want to talk about some showdown, right? And of course, a lot of Kansas City options people are going to slam in there, right? We just saw, everyone said, oh, the Eagles, Texans. There is no way that you're going to see like 3 Texans in the winning lineup. People might say the same thing about that today here with the Titans. Let's break it all down for you guys. Let's go over to you first, Megan. What are you doing with the captain spot? I mean, I think you could put like Derrick Henry in there and then run 5 Chiefs if you really wanted. I haven't ran anything to see what that looks like, but point I'm getting at is I think there's some interesting routes that you can go with in the captain spot because yes, Mahomes is in play. Yes, Kelsey is, and then Henry. And then from there, I don't know who's the next best guy to put in the captain spot. Is it even Willis? Is it a kicker? Like, who could it be? So break down those top 3. I think that's the big thing. And then who on earth are we playing from there?
I got excited when you said that, Mangone, because I have that. I have a Henry captain with 5 Chiefs. So, yeah, I first want to admit to everybody that I have a Derrick Henry addiction. I love playing Derrick Henry. I just get so excited when he breaks off those 70-yard runs and stuff. So, but obviously that doesn't always work. So I just want to go ahead and admit that. So Derrick Henry is definitely in my captain pool. I'm running with the 3 studs, basically. You have to get cheap then, and you have to get creative elsewhere, but I'm going with Mahomes, Kelsey, Derrick Henry. The one cheaper play that allows you to get all 3 of those in your flex that I'm kind of interested because he can get there on like a couple catches, long bombs is MVS. So I'm running with those 4 captains and we're calling it a day and we're going to see how that lands. Hopefully, I feel like I'm the only one who's had a really not good day and not profitable. So I'm really hoping I can bring it back tonight, but hopefully one of those 4 captains work for me because those are the 4 I'm landing on tonight.
Yeah, I mean, my day was good, so I can't complain. NBA is looking good. We need a Rui Hachimura.
I'm happy for all you guys. I feel like I just need like a group therapy session or something. I had a rough day.
That's okay. Head in the Discord chat. You can find some people complaining and tilting.
No, I don't want to complain. I want to get some good mojo. I want to get some good mojo for tonight. So anyways, those are my 4 captains, and I hope one of them pans out to bring back my day. So.
All right, well, let's turn this day around for you. So maybe this will turn around for you, Meg. So before we go over to the other 2, I just, put some stuff in, right? I ran SaberSim and here's my top captains. I'll just go through it. When I run 150 teams, I put certain settings in there. It's like basically tournament type settings. Kelsey's the number 1 captain that pops up, followed by Mahomes, followed by Henry. The next captain does not make a lot of sense. And again, SaberSim does some weird stuff sometimes. So throws in a little Pacheco captain. I probably butchered his name.
I love that.
That was my first line.
Okay. Well, we'll get to you guys about that. Then it goes Scantling, and then it goes Juju, then Malik Willis, and then that's when you have 3% guys in there, all 3% exposure. So those are the ones that are the Pacheco, Scantling, and Juju. That's from like the 7 to 8% range, and the other ones are all double digits. That's Kelsey number 1, Mahomes, and then Henry. So do what you want with that information. Let's go over to you guys, though. You guys said you like this captain with Pacheco up there. I know I'm butchering his name a ton. Let's go to you, Kurt. What are you doing with the captain spot with those top 3 ones in Kelsey, Mahomes, and Henry? And who are the other ones you're looking at after that?
I can't lie. I'm having a real tough time with captain. That's why I ended up with someone like Pacheco at captain. But I watched a lot of Malik Willis, guys, me, Bruce, Greg. We did a lot of the preseason stuff, and I watched a lot of Malik Willis, and I just got to say, the kid might get there one day, but holy shit, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't complete a pass this entire game, which is not going to happen, obviously, but that's how bad. And the thing is, like, I've been on the Texans. I was on the 3-3 build. When the Browns and Bengals, I was on 4-2 Browns. So it's not like I'm always just jamming in the favorite, but holy shit, I don't think I want to build anything that has more, definitely not more than 2 Titans. And I don't even know the 2 I want to take. The kicker, but Malik is very, very bad. I hope the kid gets there one day, but holy shit, he's bad. So that's why I think it'll be a blowout. I think they easily cover the spread. The fact it's an Arrowhead's even worse. I think Pacheco gets some garbage time carries in the entire fourth.
All right. I mean, I like the call on that. I think it's interesting. Rubio, let's go over to you. What do you do with the captains up top here? Let me pull up the showdown playbook. I'll pull that up now just so I can give it a look, keep you accountable, make sure you're not playing your fades or something like that. But who do you got? Talk about these top 3 guys and then talk about some of the other interesting captain options that you are looking at.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but if you do think the game stays close, like I have zero problem with Derrick Henry captain, because if this game is to stay close, it has to be off his back. He has to pull a Greg Jennings. He has to carry the team, put the team on his back. And I get that. And at the same time, if you think this game gets away from them, I mean, Derrick Henry's not the type of guy who catches a ton of passes. I mean, that could change to get him the ball.
It's gotten better recently, though.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that could play into effect, or you could go down to a guy like Dontrell Hillard, which we'll get to a little bit later. But I think you can play it one of two ways. If you think the Chiefs run away with it, Derrick Henry's an okay fade. But if you really think the Titans can keep it competitive to a degree, then 100% Henry and the captain makes a ton of sense. But I'm a chalk eater. I love Kelsey. I love Mahomes. Kelsey being the red zone guy for life. And this Titans team doesn't really defend the tight end position too well at all either. I think like the biggest thing with Mahomes captain is obviously you'll probably pair him with Kelsey, but who do you go after that? I think like this Kadarius Toney, he kind of, I wouldn't say murky's up the waters of that wide receiver room, but you're spending above $5K for all these wide receivers on DraftKings. Tony on FanDuel is actually $7K, but the Mahomes captain is just tough because then you kind of got to guess what second receiver or second pass catcher to pair him with. But I'm all for 3 of those. I kind of like the Pacheco, but at the same time, it kind of funnels you to a Willis Henry build, which not the sexiest, but I think like we always, kind of talked about in recent years, a rookie running back after a bye week, especially one where he just started the game last time out, they tend to get a little bit more usage, a little bit more touches. And especially if this game blows out, I feel like he's going to get all the work too. A really good way is just to leave a little bit of salary. And that's something I can entertain myself with on DraftKings.
All right. We got, what is it? 700 watching about? I think it's even more, 750 watching. We have 110 likes. So let me tell you, I'm going to shut this thing down here real soon if we don't get these likes moving. We could easily move this thing out of here. I'm down to do it. There's people downstairs there. My roommate's dog is having a birthday party. I can go hang out with the dogs. Who doesn't want to hang out with dogs and have some pizza? But I'm here hanging out with you guys. And I want some likes to get up there so we can keep breaking this thing down and hang out with you guys. So please hit that like, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Check out all the content over here at Run Pure Sports. Let's go on over to you, Megan. Let's talk about this next range. Let's talk about the flex spot, right? Mm-hmm. It does feel like, man, like if you just fade Pat Mahomes, right? Don't play him in the captain. Don't play him in the flex. That is one way you're instantly unique. Not saying I'm doing that on this slate, but I'm just saying that is a route that you can go, right? Those are things that sometimes you need to think about. And because I'm mentioning that, it seems like Pat Mahomes is probably going to be one of those top raw scoring guys where you put him in the flex spot, right? You're going to at least have him there or the captain spot. Mm-hmm. And then you got to think about how you roster him. Like when Tambo shipped the other night, I mean, I had a nice little build too with the Dallas Goedert and the captain. And then I said, I'm not fading Jalen Hurts. I'm putting him in the flex to be a little bit more different. And then he also made sure to pair the pass catchers up properly. Maybe it's Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, and then 0 Chiefs pass catchers. Maybe because people are going to just keep jamming in these Chiefs pass catchers. So I don't know why I keep saying pass catchers. The receivers, I'm saying a weird word, but Megan, you get what I'm getting at here.
Sure.
How are you going to kind of play Mahomes? Are you going to put him in the flex more? And how are you going to play Kelce, Henry, all these other guys up top? Basically this top end range. How are you putting them in the flex spot?
I mean, I have interest in Mahomes in both the captain and the flex spot. As far as the other flex positions, because I covered that I love Mahomes, Kelce, Henry. And then I like MVS because he can get there, kind of on less targets and bigger plays. I think a little bit of Juju maybe, because again, especially if you're loading up on Chiefs, if you want, and the Chiefs defense is really expensive. That's the thing. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is expensive. I think the Chiefs defense is expensive. So that's a little harder for me. I find myself more stars and scrubsy kind of, so more like the really top guys and then some lower guys. And so I'm not finding personally a lot in the mid range that I like outside of MVS, just because I feel like he's priced right for how he could get there.
Yeah, the chat is asking, they're like, wow, dogs have birthday parties now. Yeah, dogs definitely have birthday parties. Big T would not be a fan of that for sure.
How old's the pup turning?
She's turning 2. So
okay.
Sugar's turning 2. So excited to celebrate with her and shortly get to have some pizza. Pizza's always a good time.
It's always a good time.
Kurt, let's go over to you. Someone who probably doesn't eat much pizza because you don't eat any carbs at all. Like you definitely don't eat the pizza. But let's talk about how you're handling this flex spot, right? You talked about maybe playing a Pacheco in the captain spot. If you play him there in that spot, obviously then you can get different. You don't have to get different in the flex spot as much. That's one thing I really like about doing that. What's your thoughts on that there, Kurt, and how you're handling up this top end range?
So what I do with the Pacheco captain is it's a 5-1 Derrick Henry. And the thought is Titans have one very good drive where they just come out and smash it down their throat. And obviously I know the Chiefs are going to be playing for that, but this drive that in my head is just one where the Henry just goes off, scores just one touchdown. Then the offense looks like shit the rest of the night. So it's a 5-1 Pacheco captain. Henry's the only Titan in it. For mid-tier, for flex and stuff like that, like I said, I usually don't play this overpriced defenses, but I am super low on Malik Willis. That poor guy. I mean, my Lord, he has no receivers and he sucks. And he can evade rushers, but he's not like Field or like Josh Allen where he's going to like go down the field and get rushing yards. He just evades rushers and stuff. He doesn't turn any yards down the field. So yeah, I don't mind paying this ridiculous price for Chiefs defense. I think that a shutout is very possible here. Tony, I think they have their very poor man's version of Tyreek. They have a guy who can get separation in a phone booth. And that's what Tony can do. That's what Tony can give you. Juju is fat as fuck. He ain't getting no separation. MVS is a downfield guy. Hardman's got brick for hands and is not very good. This is a guy who can do a slant and get a lot of separation that their receivers cannot offer. So I know I don't want to be a fish and play a guy who just got to town, but he's the only receiver on the roster that I think can get open and bam, he's open on a slant. So I do have interest in Tony, even at the increased price. Hope people don't go there, but even if they do, I don't give a shit. I think he's already one of their most talented receivers as far as separation goes. And I think the Hammy's good. So that's what I like in the mid tier.
All right, Rubio, we'll go over to you. But before we go to you, so we got AP in the chat, who's a big Chiefs fan. I will say that. So AP, I mean, this is an open invite. You are the Chiefs guy. So if you want to pop on, always willing to have you on here, for sure. Rubio, how many likes do we have to get to give out a core? We've struggled here, but I'll say that people responded very nicely. They said, hey, it was at 110. They brought it to 242. Will you be kind though, Rubio? What's the number we got to get it at? We got 863 watching to give out someone's core, and whose core are we giving out? Maybe we could give AP's. I'm pretty sure he puts it on the old article he writes, and I'm sure he's got an article up here. I just got to double check and make sure and find it. But what's your thoughts here, Rubio? Whose core are we giving out?
You know, I'll tell you, I think we got to hit 450 or 500. You choose between the two numbers. About half the viewers got to like the video at the bare minimum. But I'm kind of feeling AP, and you know who a guy who did pretty well last night? I'll say Snyder too. I kind of want Snyder's core too. I'm using a little bit of it too.
I like that.
All right, we're doing Snyder's. See, Rubio, we had some slight issues today, so I'm going to be even nicer. I'm going to say 400. Let's keep it at 400. The people haven't really responded that well on this show on the likes too. So how about you prove me wrong? It's been a little hurtful, and I think this is a good way to turn the mojo around and get a nice shipper tonight. So we're going to go with 400, Rubio, where we'll kick it down a little bit. I have faith that people will get it done, and we can give away Snyder's core for the people. Rubio, talk about the top end range though in the flex spot. How are you handling it? Like, are you putting Mahomes in there? Is it Kelsey? How are you basically handling Juju? He's another interesting option that probably goes, I bet, overlooked a little bit because I'm sure a lot of constructions, right? When you go in and you can just hand build this, right? Put in like Kelsey at captain, the cheapest one. Put in Mahomes and put in Henry. Well, I'm left with $3,866 for my last three spots. If I go grab a Juju, well, I got 1.6. Like, you just don't have that much money to work with. Robert Woods, 7.6. So how are you handling this top end range? Are you grabbing those three? Maybe you're grabbing two of the three. What are you doing here up top, Rubio?
Well, definitely grabbing two of the three with Kelsey and Mahomes, obviously, right? But then you kind of look at it, you know, if this game starts to get out of hand, does Henry really thrive in that environment? And as much as I think Malik Willis will struggle tonight, and I'm exactly with her, I hope it happens one day, but tonight being thrown in on the road in a primetime game. However, we played bad quarterbacks before. We played Taysom Hill all year last year and stuff like that in showdown slates. And Malik Willis doesn't need to do much through the air. I mean, this could be a game where maybe they surprise us. He runs the ball a lot, and he's got a great talent there where he's capable on the ground. And that's what we saw in the preseason too, to where, you know, when he did play against other competition, you know, he can make plays with his legs, and that's all that matters. 9K, and you can find the box once, let's say 150 yards passing, 60 yards rushing, and a touchdown. All of a sudden you're like, damn, Malik Willis had 18. that's going to be enough. I don't see a huge upside for Juju Smith-Schuster or even even a guy like, oh man, like Marquez Valdez-Scantling in a way, just because of the fact that I think this game could get away from the Chiefs. I do like MVS. I do like Hardman. I do like Tony a little bit. But it's just one of those things where I think Malik Willis is just going to find his way into a lot of builds because of script. He doesn't have to do much, like I said, and it just takes one rushing touchdown where you're like, oh shit, Malik Willis was an easy play. So I think that's the route I'm going. It's going to be a lot of Malik Willis, but I do get Juju. 8,400. It's not terrible. And if this game stays closer, maybe Mahomes drops back a little bit more than we actually think. And that kind of goes hand in hand with like the guys like MVS. Hardman found the box. What was it? Twice last game they played. So I mean, they use them on end around sweeps and all that. Tony's a little bit expensive on DraftKings, but like Kurt said, I mean, he's going to be a talent. They didn't just trade for him not to use him. And he's $7K on FanDuel too, which the price disparity on both sites there is kind of wild. Tony's going to be chalk on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, maybe you get him at a little suppressed ownership. They're going to get the ball in his hands. I have no doubt about that at all. And it could be 4 to 5 touches and one of those finds the box. So I'm kind of stuck here. I mean, if you want me to talk about the Chiefs defense, I do have interest in that because a rookie quarterback on prime time and his second career start, I'm going to have a lot of Chiefs defense, and that kind of fulfills that mid-range kind of part there.
All right, we got Apone 80. He said, "Is Big T hiding?" Big T is not normally on this show. Sometimes you get graced with his presence, and you know what happens when maybe you get the likes moving. I'll say this: if we get to 500, I'll call him. I'm not saying he's going to pick up the phone, but I'll tell him, "Hey, we got to 500, and like you need to hop on." But again, I don't have faith he'll pick up too, but we'll have to see. You never know. Let's roll the dice. You guys are gamblers. Let's have some fun. I see Alex asking in the chat, Tony or Juju Smith, which is a great question to talk about because I think Tony's a really interesting option that Rubio brought up that we should discuss. Megan, let's go over to you. Let's kind of now talk about some of these like mid-tier options and how we're handling it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the running backs, right? He's kind of more of the upper guys, but we talk about Hardman, Valdez-Scantling, kickers. This is where we get into Dante Hilliard, right? I mean, Hilliard's a guy that when they're losing, well, what happens? He's in the game more, right? I mean, they like to throw to him a little bit. So you could see a nice little script for him. How are you handling this kind of $5,000 and $4,000 and $3,000 range? How are you handling these options?
Yeah, I'd love to hear what AP thinks about like the Chiefs running back situation, because it's very difficult with like the 3 running backs, and to pay that much for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I can't personally do it. If you were getting creative and you weren't, I'm not doing this personally, but if you were like not going to put Mahomes in your lineup, that would be something where you'd play Edwards-Helaire, maybe even 2 running backs, but that's not for me. So I'm not playing Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I've kind of said who I liked in the mid-range. And so I have more interest in the cheaper Chiefs running backs, both Pacheco and McKinnon. I like Pacheco better, obviously price and like the game script, like we talked about, he could get the whole fourth quarter. So yeah. And then I don't mind Dante Hilliard because that is a game script situation too. Kind of like I believe Kurt said, Henry could still get there early in the game, on a big long run or pop in 2 touchdowns, but they're still playing from behind, and Hilliard racks up some catches late in the game. So I think I have multiple lineups with both Titans running backs just because that kind of worked in the build. And I think you can tell yourself a story where that works. So I kind of have interest in all those 3 cheap running backs, have interest in kickers, but the kickers are kind of priced up today. But I do still have interest. And then when we get down to the really cheapies, I have some questions for you guys. So, all
right. Well, I'm excited to talk about it. Before we do that, I got some stuff to address in the chat. Let's start here. Uncle T tells Rubio to slow down. Uncle T, listen, please don't say that to Rubio. Rubio can talk at whatever speed he wants. Then I got another problem. We got Nadesify in the chat, and I know he's been shipping. He's been winning a lot over here at Run Pure Sports. Been absolutely doing great. His coordinator here does the NHL content with Matty Ice. But Nadesify, I don't think you're able to call Uncle T Terry yet. Rubio, weigh in on this. You got to be here a little longer to call Uncle T Terry. Am I right?
I don't even call him Terry yet.
Yeah, I don't even have the Terry pass, and I sold phones to him multiple times, to him and his family. I that's a bridge I don't think I'll ever be able to cross.
Yeah, so Nadesify, settle down with calling him Terry. Uncle T for now. You'll get there someday. I don't even call him Terry that much. It's occasional. So our guy Uncle T says in the chat, good call. So glad to see I'm doing well. McKinnon is the best RV from Zachary in the chat. We'll obviously talk about that as we kind of keep diving in here. Kurt, let's go over to you. What are you doing with these kickers? Are they priced up too much for you in this like kind of mid-range? How are you handling it?
No, I mean, I kind of don't have any salary issues. Surprise. I mean, because I don't like Malik. He will maybe hit like 1 or 2 of my builds out of like 20, but it's not going to be much at all. So I don't really have any issue with salary. I like Hilliard for my script. He fits perfect. I do like the kickers. Don't mind. I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with salary. So them being priced up doesn't really affect me. I had another one down here. I'm going to need the Tennessee pass catchers. Obviously, I have to play some Tennessee. So Westbrook, I think he's absolutely garbage can. But my other favorite receiver, Phillips, the little white guy for Tennessee, he's on the IR, so that's sad. So they're kind of stuck with what they got, and it's Westbrook, and the other guy's hurt too, the other rookie out of Arkansas. So, I mean, it's like they don't have much. Woods is honestly kind of dusty himself, but hey, if he catches like 5 balls for 40, that might be optimal. So I don't mind either Tennessee pass catchers. Hilliard, he's basically a pass catcher tonight because they're going to be down so big. And then as far as the running backs goes, I like Pacheco and the flex as well. Don't mind that. Hooper super cheap. And I mean, the rookies are going to depend on his tight end. So like I said, you can easily jam in these like Kelsey and Mahomes, be chalky as hell, and just get different at Tennessee. It's going to be Dupesville, but I don't care. That's going to be the optimal tonight. It's like something like that.
All right, Rubio, let's go over to you. I think break down this mid-range. How are you handling it? Kickers, all these other options. If you want to check out Rubio's thoughts too, you can open up the playbook and check it out there. So Rubio, how are you handling kind of this, mid-tier range, these kickers, the pass catchers? What are you doing there?
Yeah, I mean, I like Butker. I love the Chiefs defense tonight. And I actually like Hilliard. I think Dontrell Hilliard, he's been effective early in the season, and he's a guy who just, if he gets touches, he gets fantasy points. I know that relates to everyone in fantasy football ever, but he does a lot of stuff with the ball. I think this could be a script where all of a sudden he has 4 or 5 catches, somehow creeps his way into the optimal, doesn't even need to score. And you're like, oh, damn, he had like 10.1. He found himself in the perfect lineup because no one else did anything. So I think he works well in like 5-1 builds. And that's something that I'm kind of looking at a little bit. Like Dontrell Hilliard could be a guy to where like you play like a bunch of the Chiefs studs, like Mahomes, Juju, Kelsey, and all of a sudden you just run it back with Hilliard and that's it. So yeah, I think I like him. I like the Chiefs defense, love Butker. I'm just worried about Randy Bullock. Maybe the script just gets away from them a little bit and they have to stop kicking field goals. But I mean, this Chiefs defense isn't the best in the world. Henry could guide him into field goal range a couple times. So definitely still support that. But yeah, I kind of talked about the pass catchers before, and I'm starting to get more on Tony. I'm with Kurt here now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the Tony shakes out. He'll be definitely an interesting play. Rubio, let's go right back to you. Talk about the real cheapies. And the reason I'm going back to you is because Megan wants to hear from you guys first. And we gotta do what the lady says, right? We want to make sure she gets she wants to get her thoughts from you guys. So what are you doing here with the cheap options, Rubio? You going cheap? You playing any $200 guys? I know you like to dive in this range more than I do. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think like we don't have like a dual, like legit like QB or smash spot with the running back even and stuff. Like I think if you're playing Henry, then it makes sense to probably dive down this range. And I love rookie quarterbacks. I love their tight ends because of the fact of the matter is they tend to check down a lot. They tend to rely on their security blanket. The only problem is the Titans have like 4 security blankets and I can't choose which one is which. Cody Hollister is someone who popped in the projections. I actually just added into the playbook, someone I forgot to put there. But you also got Okonkwo and then Austin Hooper are all below 2K. Make a little bit of sense. Noah Gray could even sneak one in like we saw a couple weeks ago as well. So I think I think if I'm dipping down that range and it's below Pacheco because he's one of my favorite values to begin with. But if you're dipping below that 2K range, then those tight ends for the Titans make a lot of sense for me.
All right, let's go over to you, Kurt. How are you handling this cheap range? Who are some of the cheapies that you're diving down to that are going to help ship you all the money tonight?
Yeah, so I believe Hooper's the lowest. I mean, we know Tennessee that they'll rotate their tight end, so like a random tight end could get there, but I'm just going to stick it with Hooper. It leads in snaps. I'm not going to get. I mean, usually we have to get cute with these like KC guys. Don't think that's the case here tonight unless you're maxing. So yeah, I think just Hooper, Pacheco, McKinnon in a couple, but I'm just higher on Pacheco. Swaim, if they score, I feel like he'd be the goal line guy, but I feel like the volume guy would be Hooper. So yeah, like I said, maxing. And that's about all I got is Hilliard and Hooper down here, and then McKinnon, Pacheco.
All right, I see Tamo's attack plan is getting fired up. He's got 2. He's got 2 GVP teams up, and the third one should be getting fired in. He's got the breakdown with all of the guys that he's looking at and how he's kind of handling the slate. So just be sure to check that out. Megan, let's go to you. Did you get all the advice that you wanted? What's your feedback on what the guy said, and what's some of your opinions here on this one?
Yes, because I had some cheap Titans tight ends in some of my lineups. So I was looking for some feedback on that. The two I was considering was Hooper and is it Okonkwo. Those were the two.
The young guy. Yes.
He's like two. Yeah. So those were the only two I was really considering. And I'm with you, Kurt, not going to any like the Chiefs type. Go ahead. You go first.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No,
but
you go.
In the preseason, Malik had chemistry with one guy. And I don't know if you remember Rubio, but it was the Okungwu guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Megan. I don't mean to
I don't know how to pronounce his name either.
Plays center for the Atlanta Hawks, just so you know, Kurt. He plays center for the Atlanta Hawks.
The guy with the crazy name. Pretty sure he played college ball at Maryland, but that was the only game Malik had.
It's Okonkwo, I think. Pretty close.
Jago Okonkwo.
Yes.
Yeah. Cheek. I think Cheek is his nickname. But great call, Megan. I'm so glad you pointed that out.
Well, I think Rubio mentioned it first. I had him and Hooper were like my two like really cheap tight ends that I was considering or already had in my lineups. And I kind of wanted feedback. Like, is that crazy or does that make sense? Because I'm with you, Kurt, not going down to the super cheap Kansas City guys, not going there on this slate. If that burns me tonight, I've been burnt all day today. So just whatever. But so yeah, those are my two cheap guys is Hooper and Okonkwo.
I just found
they confirmed it for
a Okonkwo team actually, but I don't know if I can do it, but we'll see. I mean, I think I want to do it on a different team, but not this one. It leaves $4,000. It seems a little egregious. I just think I could find a better one. So,
I wish we needed that 200 because we don't need it though. But I mean,
I don't know. I don't typically dive into those $200 plays, so I do my best to stay away. But yeah, we'll have to see. I'm still kind of looking through some combinations and see what I can do. And it's a showdown slate, right? So everyone loves the tight ends on the showdown slate. We're at 350 watching. We said 400 likes, and you get Snyder's core, which Snyder had a nice little hit yesterday in the college football street. So we need 50 more to get that. 150 for me to make a phone call to Big T and see. We'll put him on speakerphone and we'll see if he even picks up the phone, see if he jumps on the show. And who knows, maybe he's listening right now. Maybe if he sees the lights pushing in, maybe he'll just jump on. You never know when Big T is lurking. So let's go to my favorite part of the show, Rubio. Is it 5-1, 4-2, 3-3? How are you handling this slate, Rubio Dimes?
I am going 5-1 Chiefs, and I'll even put it, if it's a 3-3 build for the Titans that ships it or anything like that, I'll eat a piece of chalk on the next show. I mean, what is
it again? You'll eat a piece of chalk if what?
If the Titans like 3-3 or 4-2 or 5-1 Titans ends up being optimal.
Does it have to be a Titan in the captain?
You know what? We'll allow that. We'll make that just a little harder since 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going out on a limb, and I appreciate somebody who goes out on a limb and doesn't even have anything on the line. So yeah, we'll say that. And if not, you'll eat a piece of chalk on the show. That's correct.
Yes, I'll eat a piece of chalk on the show.
It's got to be better than that chip you ate. That chip was brutal.
Oh God, I'll never do that again. God no.
Yeah, that was, and then Holden did it without, just because he thought that you were a pansy for it. So it was pretty good. But let's find out what Kurt's doing. What route are you going? I know Rubio's in the 5-1. Kurt, how about you?
I agree. I mean, if you want to do a 4-2 with the Tennessee pass catchers and just hope that it's just straight blowout and they just rack up PPR points at the end, I'm cool with that. Another thing I just saw in my head, I hate that we don't need to play a 200 guy, but if it's a blowout in the fourth, man, like, that tight end could legit get 3 easy ass points and probably 20 yards in like the winding minutes of the game. I don't know. I'm high on. It's $200. I don't need it, but damn, I could just see it in my head with that guy just getting all kinds of volume in the blowout.
I found if I do the a Kung Fu team, I found the one I'll do. So like it's ready to go if I decide to do it. So I have 2 teams in there that if for some reason I have a heart attack right now, I'm happy if those teams are in there. You know what I mean? So hopefully that doesn't happen. Though.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I always say that for some reason. I'm like, well, I got teams in, right? Yeah, I at least got placeholders because there's nothing worse than like I saw someone's team the other day. I was like, why does he have 76 points in NBA? And I was like, oh, that's why he didn't get his team in. He left all the guys that didn't matter. So let's go to you, Megan. What's your combination? 3-3, 4-2, 1-5. How are you going with it on this slate?
Well, first of all, I'm sorry. My dog is pacing and walking around making noises. Speaking of dogs today. So sorry if he's being loud during the show.
No, we can't hear it. So normally people, you can't hear it as much as you think. So.
Okay, good. Anyways, I kind of showed my hand that it's a little more 4-2 for me because I am going down to some cheap, either Hilliard or one of those cheap Titans pass catchers. But that's based, but of course, and I'm addicted to playing Derrick Henry. So I pretty much, it's Henry and one of those cheapy Titans, and it's 4-2 for me, 4-2 Chiefs.
All right, the 4-2 Chiefs. I mean, one thing I like to do is like I'm going to play like Travis Kelce in the captain spot. I think most people that do that, they put that in like a 4-2 or a 5-1. So like I'm putting Kelce in a 3-3. Like that's one that I found that I like. I have him also in this 4-2, and that's what I'm trying to get rid of. I'm trying to figure out who my other captain should be, because I'm only just playing a couple teams and hosting the show. And you know me, I don't know what time the show everything starts, so I don't want to lose track of time. Good news though, we got 15 minutes and the likes are doing well. 378. We got Holden's bot in the chat as well, so everyone is here hanging out with us. We need to get those likes to 400. We'll give out Snyder's core. Rubio, how about you talk about this for me? Obviously, people start filing some questions in the chat. We'll talk different strategies. We're here for about 15 more minutes, but Rubio, tell the people about the playbook over here at Run Pure Sports, because you're going to have a playbook up for tomorrow, right? We got a showdown slate tomorrow with no Mark Andrews on it. So should be fun to break that down. We'll have a show tomorrow as well that Big T will be on. So Rubio, tell me about a little bit about the playbook so that people can hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, like we say every week, it's just all this content in one space. You get to go on the site. Let's say you had a long day at work. Say you played soccer like I did earlier today. You can load it up. You can see price disparities between DraftKings and FanDuel. First thing you notice is that Pacheco on DraftKings is much cheaper at $2,400. Then on FanDuel, he's $11K. And then Tony on DraftKings is $6,800. On FanDuel, he's $7,000. Highlights the captain plays, price disparities. It's got 8 cores from 8 of the best, or 10 cores now, 10 of the best people that I know, I always use it. I always go through, see who's on it. And, K Fellick, he's putting his in right now too. So it's getting me hyped because he's kind of on a similar path. And then, goes over a fade section. And I'll kind of dive in a little bit tonight, since I haven't gotten to talk about him too much because I don't really care for him. Malik Willis is throwing on the ball. It's Robert Woods and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Those are 2 guys that I'm fading tonight that are in the fades list. And the reason being, I just can't trust Malik to get him the ball. I just don't think that he's going to be a consistent enough passer to do that tonight. And yeah, it kind of goes into detail a little bit why, and yeah, kind of a nice thing. Thanks, Mango.
Yeah, I mean, definitely want to, talk about that a little bit, because you do a good job with that over there. We got all the cores up to him. We got JSU, Snyder. We have a bunch of people. Megan's on there. I mean, we got a bunch. Kurt as well. So, yeah, you can see all the different combinations. We also have, I normally do single entry 3 max stuff for you guys. Not today. It's just tough on Sundays. I do it Mondays and Thursdays for sure for the NFL Showdown stuff. AP's got an article that he's got up there talking about the Chiefs. He loves to talk about them Chiefs. What else we got? K Fallick likes to do a little breakdown on the 3 max stuff always, and that's how he kind of puts it in his core plays. Tambo's attack plan, which Tambo's been absolutely crushing it. So that's actually something I'm going to pull up right now to maybe pick this final captain to see what route to go, because he's been absolutely on fire. I mean, he's been crushing it here over at Run Pure Sports. So if you want to check that out, he's got a nice little breakdown, has a couple cores up. He has his entire player pool for you to check out. I don't think I forgot anything else, Rubio. Am I leaving anyone out?
No, nothing that you're leaving out really at all. I mean, you talked about K Fellick having his 3 max and single entry game plan, kind of similar to what you do for college football and even NFL and NBA nights too that I read.
Yep. Tons of good stuff. And we got Nadesify in the chats, and there's a big NHL day on Tuesday, which I secured one of those tickets. So I can't wait to check out the content. I'm going to be acting like a member, right? I'm going to be in Saber Sim, diving in on Tuesday, because there's no NBA on Tuesday. So it's going to be a little bit more of a quiet day for you guys, but should be a lot of fun. We got 12 minutes. We'll answer chat questions. So fire some chat questions in there. Phila asked, which Chiefs receiver will you have the most exposure to? Meg, let's go over to you. Which Chiefs receiver will you have the most exposure to tonight?
I assume that means not Kelce as a receiver, because obviously Kelce.
Yeah, let's keep Kelce.
Okay, yeah. So for me, it's probably going to be MVS just because of the price, just because of, as I said earlier, the price, and he can get there, kind of just on a few catches.
Oh man, sorry, I just got distracted. I love Big T's idea with his core, actually.
I just saw his core too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot, actually. I think it's I love what he said. I love what he said about he basically said in the late fades, he said all other Titans scrubs. So the classic Big T, give you a little peek of that. It's always fun to see. I do like that one. I didn't think about that. I should see if I have any Tony in my run. I was going to rerun it one more time with a little bit of different settings just to get a different look. So I'm going to do that right now. Yeah, let's go over to, let's see a chat question here that we can go to. Butker or the Chiefs D? Pick one, Kurt.
Bucker, Chiefs D. Give me Chiefs D.
All right, Pacheco or Hollister or Hooper and Gray. Let's go over to you, Rubio. It's Pacheco, Hollister, or Hooper and Gray.
I don't think Pacheco is thin at all today, and I think the other three guys are. So go with the least thin play, and then whoever it was with.
And we got
Pacheco
Brad in the
and
chat. We got Brad in the chat telling me to be quiet. Don't give out too much about Big T. Brad, I just gave out one small nugget, right? You just got to give people a little bit of taste sometimes. You know what I mean? Let's go to you, Megan. Do you think Malik Willis has the potential to have a breakout game and a Malik Willis captain build ships? What's your thoughts on that one, Megan?
I agree with the guys, primetime away game, maybe someday. I don't think this is it for him. Again, he barely threw last game. They just rode Derrick Henry, and they're going to have to throw more today. But no, I don't like that. I'm not on that. Except on FanDuel, I do sometimes just rotate my captains. But no, generally, I'm not on that. No.
All right, let's go to. I want to look at my. I made a run on Sabres, and let's see. I don't get any of the guy that Big T liked, which I've been trying to trust him more, and I think it's been good. I am gonna run. I'm gonna run a couple just like locked and just see what happens. I'm kind of curious what they look like. I want to see what Big T's score is. Big T's pretty good at DFS, so I'll give it a gander. But Kurt, let's go. Next questions for you. Chris Conley at all? Thoughts on that, Kurt?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm doing 20 max, so I didn't get any Conley. I kept it really tight. But if you're doing more than that, or if you just want to pick a random Tennessee pass catcher and that's your guy, then I would honestly, I probably do like him over Westbrook, that guy really is really bad. It's like Michael Thomas is it's like Michael Thomas with Big T hates him because he's bad. It's kind of how Westbrook Ikian is. He's so bad.
All right. Well, we got people making fun of me in the chat the way I say Mr. Pacheco's name, so I'm calling him Isaiah the rest of the way. So my guy Isaiah P. He's definitely someone that we're looking at tonight. Keep firing some chat questions away. Keep doing that. Let's see. I'll see if I can find some other ones in here. We didn't talk that much about Robert Woods. Anyone got a take on Robert Woods tonight?
I don't mind him at all. I think, like I said, I think he can be optimal with 5 catches and like 50 yards. I mean, he's going to be out there the most snaps. They have no one else.
All right, cool. Rubio, what's your thoughts on the old Robert Woods? I think he's a fade for you. I can't remember.
Yep, he's a fade just because I can't trust Malik Willis to get him the ball. Not just yet. I mean, hate to keep bashing on the dude because I truly believe in his talent, but yeah, not yet. Not with this game plan and all that. I mean, they threw the ball 10 times last week. If the water's running good, you're still not going to see Robert Woods eat, and even in trailing script 7,200, not interested.
All right. Let's see. I don't think I'm getting Kurt. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm playing your boy a Kongwu or
I don't blame you.
I don't think I'm playing in this game.
Yeah, it's just there's no need for him, dude.
Yeah, I know. I never like doing those, so I'm not gonna do it. But
how about anytime? Let's do anytime touchdown. Let's throw like a half unit on that just for fun.
That sounds like a wasted unit. But what's the odds? I'll hear you out, Kurt. What's the odds on that thing?
That's a great.
You got a book up in front of you? I'm curious now.
I'll pull it up. You can keep going.
All right, I'll keep powering away. Let's see if we got questions in the chat. Someone said, okay, we do have 8 minutes left. I thought you were tricking me. I thought it was someone that actually knows. Let's see. Landa's laughing about the Akungwu thing. It's like a Akungwu, so it's pretty close. It's actually way closer than I realized.
His nickname is
Chike. What'd you say, Kurt?
His nickname is Chike. They call him Chike, so you can just call him Chike or Chig or whatever it is.
Well, yeah. The problem is, Kurt, so this is a problem. When you go into like Draftkings, you type in Chike, he doesn't pop up. Just like when you go in and type in Boogie Cousins, he doesn't pop up. So like I try to sometimes on these shows like not use the nickname because I don't know who's watching. Like I don't know if your grandma's tuning in and she's playing for the first time. So I try not to. And if I do use the nickname, I try to be like the DDR, DeMar DeRozan. I'm not perfect, but I try to do that as best as I can.
We have the odds. It's 15-1 on FanDuel. I'm betting it right now.
All right. Kurt is betting it. If he does score, I am going to imagine Kurt going nuts. And Kurt, actually, I'd like a video. If you could do a video and post it on Twitter. You saw it
just a second ago when the Bucks scored.
I know, but I want the people to see it too. So like, I
think they should see that
when they're at the goal line and you see if you see like a goal line type package where you could get it, just pull the phone up and start recording.
I'll already be halfway Twitter. Pants down.
And we don't want the pants down, Kurt. I don't think anyone wants to see that. No. Maybe the people you're swiping to on your phone, maybe they want to.
Not
People
even-
are asking about Watson in the chat. Does anyone have any thoughts on Watson? I mean, we saw him win a showdown slate this year. Anyone have thoughts on that, Megan?
No, yeah, we talked about it earlier, just a minute, just very brief that, no, I'm not going to any of those cheap Chiefs tonight. Just like we said, don't feel the need.
All right, cool.
So no Watson for me.
Any thoughts on that, Rubio?
Yeah, he's 65-1 to score the first touchdown. If you want to get your fix in, do it that way.
Yep, you can record yourself, pull your pants down like Kurt when the touchdown hits, and you'll be very, very happy.
Mangone, how many likes are we away from 400? I gotta know.
Oh, we're at 387. Can we get 13 in the next 5 minutes while I pick my last team? That would be very nice. I'd be very happy about that, actually. That's what I'm hoping for here. I think I may have found my last team I'm going for here. Actually, I think I did. What is his price? It zeroes out, but I'm okay with it. I think we're rolling with this one, Rubio. I'm doing a 5-1. I'm holding arm in arm with Rubio Dimes on a 5-1 stack tonight. That's not normal, Rubio, by the way. You and I don't normally have the onslaughts. You like the onslaught way more than me.
Onslaught.
Yeah, I do. And I know that we disagree a lot, Mangone, but you're not that bad.
Yeah, you yourself as well. Let me just double check and make sure. Yep, I'm good to go on that. Fire in some more chat questions here. Someone asked about the captain Chiefs defense. Kurt, someone who was a linebacker for Marshall, right? You played some defense in your day. Can you get behind the Chiefs defense in the captain spot?
Yes, and I never do that ever, but man, I don't know. No.
You'll never see me do it. Literally
no. But there's too much upside on this Chiefs offense. You would need literally this Chiefs offense to spread it down and everyone to only get 15. It's not going to happen. Just play them in the flex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good. Megan, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually didn't get to them a ton in the flex, but I have them in the flex and not captain. I agree. There's just going to be too many other studs that get there, I think, in the captain.
Yeah,
all right, we hit 400, Mangone.
All right.
You do the honors. What is the old Snyder core? And listen, Snyder's gonna have a core tomorrow, and Snyder's a Ravens guy. So you might see a nice little back to back from Snyder, for being honest.
I wonder who likely is going to be in his core. Anyway,
that was really bad, by the way. That might be the worst joke I've heard on this show. I mean, it was a good dad joke, but also very bad.
Derrick Henry captain with Travis Kelce and Mecole Hardman as the run back on DraftKings. Then it's Derrick Henry MVP on FanDuel with Kadarius Toney and Travis Kelce. So I have to imagine he's running it back with Mahomes. So I like the route. I mean, it's kind of a route that we discussed at the top of the show. It's one that, if this game stays close, Derrick Henry, I mean, he's just fresh off 450 billion yards last week or whatever it was. I like it.
All right, I got a question for you guys. You have to pick. It's McKinnon. I can go McKinnon or I can go Hilliard. Who would you pick here? McKinnon or Hilliard?
Hilliard. He's looked good out there. I don't know. It's probably because they're not giving him the power runs that Henry did.
Now, here's a question. Here's a question for you. Can you play Derrick Henry and Dontrell Hilliard in the same lineup?
Yes, that's what I'm staring at, Rubio.
Yeah.
I have been.
How about this? You can play Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pacheco in the same lineup with Mahomes captain. What if I told you could do that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's something we would be interested in. Probably not, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Listen, I personally like it, so I'm playing
it too, Mangone.
I'm doing the Hilliard thing. I'm doing Hilliard.
I think we have the same build. I just sent it to you.
You sent? Where'd you send it?
In your text.
A text? I didn't know if it's text or Discord, so I'm just checking. We got 2 minutes. There's some overlay lurking, so always look for that. Jana Parker says, love having Megan on the show. Megan, I know that you're burner. You're on another
swear to God, no.
job. I'm just kidding there. Willis or Pacheco on FanDuel. I think that's probably Willis there. But Megan, what's your thoughts on that? Willis or Pacheco? You got to pick one.
Willis or Pacheco?
Yeah, I don't know the salaries and how that grades out, but I just figured I'd ask the question because it's
they're very different salaries. Yeah, if you're going cheap, go Pacheco. If you're going Willis, I have more Pacheco tonight. I'll say that. So,
all right, more Pacheco over there. Or my guy Isaiah P. Let's see. Chase is asking any Tony captain. Thoughts on that Rubio Dimes?
Yeah, I mean, it leads you to a nice spot. And like I said, I think they're going to get the ball in his hands a lot tonight. He's a gadget guy to begin with, but it just takes one play to get in the end zone. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, damn, he had a great game. I'm all for it, Mangone. I'm all for it.
Yep. I think it's a good call. I agree with Gator. Meg got some class in this panel. That is true.
Oh, thank you.
We could use some class. We're definitely an interesting bunch. Let's see. Someone says they correlated Tony with Chiefs the captain. That's fine if you want to. I'm just not big on playing the old what's it called? The Chiefs defense. I just don't play defenses really that much ever. So Rubio, I guess before we get out of here, we don't got any really other questions. It's about to hit the buzzer. Final thoughts. What's your thoughts here on this slate? And are you excited for all the sports coming up? Because hey, man, you shipped some MLB. I heard recently. I heard you won nice little money, so you're on a nice little heater. So I'm sure you're excited to keep playing some sports and some F1.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited. The MLB postseason was really good to me because I picked my spots. I played 3 slates and shipped all 3, so helps out a lot when it's Game 6 of the World Series yesterday, winning the 3-3-3. I had a little bit of a sweat there with Ryan Presley, and it was a lot of fun. I don't watch any baseball, but hell, that strategy is undefeated.
Congrats.
Who do you think you are, buddy?
Yep.
And then we had the Rainmakers today too. It was close.
Oh, shut up.
Gosh.
I was staring at them gay for like 3.
Rubio and I are holding hands, by the way, on that team. I love it, Rubio. I think it's a really good team.
I do too.
What was it?
I like that setup a ton. It's locked. I can read it. And it's inspired by Big T's core. He put Tony in the captain. So Tony is playing Tony in the captain with Henry, Hilliard, Kelsey, Mahomes, and Pacheco. I think it's pretty good.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot when I saw it.
Nice.
Kurt, final thoughts from you.
I think it's gonna be a blowout, but just rejoice because we're gonna win money off of it. It's all right.
All right, Megan, close it out. I'm gonna go hang out with a bunch of dogs downstairs. I get to hang out with Sugar. I think one of the dogs' names is Kesha. I mean, I get to hang out with all the dogs. So what is your dog's name that was just hanging out, and give us your final thoughts?
Yeah, sorry, he was being needy. It's Riggins, I'm a Washington fan. So Riggs for short. So I think I have to take Riggs on a walk immediately after this. He's being needy right now. But my final thoughts are I'm hoping I'm just gonna, kind of bring back from a rough day today. And again, I hope one of those 4 captains I mentioned get there and my 4-2 build works. But no, I hope we brought some good mojo tonight. I hope we have a lot of Run Pure shippers tonight. So
we see Riggs.
Rough day.
You want to say hi to Riggs?
Shut up.
Really
I'm done
quick?
with you, Greg. Shut up. Riggs. Oh,
Hey, buddy.
Look at the little puppy.
Hey, buddy.
Let's hope it's Riggs is hanging out with us. Let's hope it's bounce back season. I'm
That's good.
Bounce back
currently
season. That's right.
Yeah, I'm currently in first in NBA. All the games stopped. We got 1 game left. So let's see
go,
if I can
Mangone.
hold.
Let's go.
It's a very small slate was the problem. It wasn't huge prize pools, but currently in first with a nice 298, and second place is 286 in this contest. So that's a nice little gap. Hopefully we can hold it on. I'm rooting for a bunch of missed shots in the Clippers game or a blowout in the way that it works out where I do well. So let's have a nice little night. Let's lift the Run Pure. This is for me, Mangone, Megan, Kurt, and Rubio Dimes. We'll see you guys later.